Hey everybody, welcome back to Halfshelltoys and Collectibles. Something a little different today. So we've got a load of stuff here that we're going to be taking into town, and this stuff is for a local child who is battling cancer right now, and her name is Lexi. And I'll go ahead and put a link in the description for their GoFundMe, but I'll also throw up a QR code here, and so you guys can donate to them. But we're taking a load of stuff in to donate to a yard sale that they're going to be doing. I've been reselling now for just over a year, and this is the first time I've had to just get rid of some stuff because I have too much. And so instead of taking it to a thrift store, my wife saw this opportunity to help out this family. I'll probably be doing a short clip like this every time I take stuff into them, because I'm probably going to be donating to them multiple times this summer as I go through my shop and get rid of things. So every time that I do that, I'll do a short clip like this of me taking something in for them, just to give you guys an opportunity to donate through the QR code or through the link for their GoFundMe. So there'll be multiple opportunities like this moving forward this summer for you guys to donate. So yeah, and this is very out of character for me. Typically I do this kind of stuff in secret, but I wanted to do this publicly this time to give people opportunities to help this family out. So that's the only reason why I'm doing this. And you know, if you guys could pray for the family, pray for Lexi. It's got to be very, very difficult seeing your child go through cancer treatments and stuff. So yep, we're going to take this stuff into town, and let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that we sold this last week. Hey everybody, welcome back to Halfshelltoys and Collectibles. It is Friday, May 23rd, and the last few weeks have just been really slow. We haven't sold a whole lot. The stuff we have been selling has been really low valued stuff. And I just got to a point where I didn't have much motivation to list stuff. I was listing a few things here and there, but not listing as much as I probably should have been. And yesterday I decided to buckle down and really get some stuff listed. I did manage to list about $1,200 worth of stuff, and I have about $600 worth of stuff lined up to list today. So that will hopefully help generate some more sales. I'm starting to see a little bit of an uptick of sales so far since last night. So I want to share those with you first. There's 4 sales that have happened since late evening yesterday. One of them is a pretty good sale. The other ones are kind of low dollar sales. So, but I didn't get much sleep last night. This has just really been weighing on me the last couple weeks. And I think it just kind of came to a head yesterday. I got really frustrated with where my eBay store is and where my business is and other things going on. I just couldn't sleep last night. I was up past 2 a.m. last night, just laying in bed thinking about stuff that I can do differently. So I went and got a really large Dutch Brothers coffee today, 2 extra shots. So she's packing the heat today. She is bitter, but I'm hoping it helps me wake up. I'm super tired this morning. So another thing too that I decided to do was I have a dry erase calendar board coming. I plan on hanging that up on the back of my door here, and I'm hoping it'll help me keep me more accountable for my listing. I'm going to put up a goal that I need to list every month, and then divide that by how many days are in the month to get how much I need to be listing every day, rather than just going by how I feel. I'm going to start listing stuff based on what the goal on the board is. And if you guys watch Lonnie and Candace from Shed Flips and I believe Running with the King, or Running for the King, he also has a board kind of like that. So I've reached out to Lonnie and asked him, you know, how he gets his numbers, how he figures out like what the percentage is. So, you know, like I need about $3,500 a month in sales to meet my net goal. But I know that if I were to take $3,500 and then divide that by 30 days and then list that number every day, I don't think that's going to be enough to get me to my 3,500. Just because you have to factor in offers and percentage off sales and that kind of stuff. So by the time you factor that stuff in, then your number is actually going to have to be much higher than that, you know? So maybe like $4,000 divided by 30 or 31 days, whatever. So I got some questions into him to kind of ask him what his numbers look like and the flow of things, so I can kind of incorporate that into what I'm doing. So that should be here. That calendar should be here next week. I'll probably start doing that the first of the month and see how that goes. See if it helps me stay on track better and more motivated to list stuff. I mean, the ultimate motivation is stuff leaving the store, right? Selling stuff, making the money. And that just hasn't been the case the last few weeks. We had a really good few weeks there at the end of March going into April, and then it just died again. I don't know if, for me, it looks like eBay is becoming less and less and less the place to go for pop culture stuff. We've got Whatnot and other platforms with live selling, and I just have this feeling that people my age, in their 30s, early 40s, and younger, are going to Whatnot and District for these shows to buy stuff. But eBay is always going to be that place to go if you're looking for one specific item and you don't want to spend 30 minutes on a show, that you can go and you can search that item on eBay, look through the ones that are listed, find the one you want, and purchase it. So I don't think eBay is ever going to go away from being that kind of marketplace, but I think the bulk of buyers that are wanting to build collections at a cheaper and faster rate are going to Whatnot, and they're going to District. So I have a feeling that's probably why I've seen just lower numbers overall since middle of last year on pop culture related items, which kind of sucks because that's what I love to sell. I do have a Whatnot live selling setup back here that I haven't put to use yet. I got all the stuff I need to do that. I just haven't done it yet. And I need to buckle down, create a show, and just run my first one and see how it goes. I'm hoping I'm pleasantly surprised by how well it goes, and I'll want to do more. One or two of them a week would be awesome. But we'll see. I just need to do it. So I'm hoping that this next month moving forward, my outlook is different and my view of what needs to be done is clearer and I can accomplish more. So yeah, I want to go over the stuff that we sold in the last 24 hours first, and then I'll take you guys back a week and a half or so, and then we'll go through the things I've sold in that amount of time. So let's go ahead and look at what we sold in the last 24 hours. All right, the first item we sold was this Dutch Brothers sticker. And I have all of my Dutch Brothers stickers on 30% off right now. So they just haven't been selling. So I decided they've got to go. I've got a stack of them that's like 2.5 inches tall. And they just haven't been leaving the store. And I've had a lot leave since I did 30% off. So this sold for $2.79. By now, I have nothing into this sticker. I bought a large lot of them for like $35. And they were like 30 cents a piece. I mean, but I've sold enough of those now that these are these are at no cost to me. So these are just like if I got them for free at the store. So $2.79 plus shipping. The buyer paid $3.48 shipped. And then we sold another door handle. This is from the large lot of door handles that we got for free last summer. I want to say we got over close to 1,000 of these for free. And we've been making about $4.50 on each one. These sell for about $12 to $13 in the store. And by the time you added shipping for one of these, the buyer paid $12.45. So they paid what they would normally pay in store for this item. But the thing is, which is kind of weird, because this is a left door handle, the left side door handle. And for some reason, I get a lot of messages when people buy these saying, thank you so much for having this in stock, because the stores don't have it. For some reason, they can never keep this particular one in stock. And which is funny, because the place that I got these from for free, they were donated to them. They're a nonprofit. And they did a sale, and then they didn't want to store them, so they put them up for free. And luckily I was the only one that messaged them on their ad, so I got all of them. But Lowe's donated these, and now Lowe's is having a hard time keeping them in stock. So I just think it's kind of funny. So, $4.50. So the last two items were basically free, and we've made money on them, but they were low number sales. So our next one, though, this is a really good sale. We have about $2.50 into this item, and it is a 30th anniversary Hammond Collection Jurassic Park dinosaur. I'm not even going to attempt to read that name, but this is a great line of Jurassic Park items to be looking for. Almost all of these go for like $50 or more. This particular one has been selling between $65 and as much as $100, but there's a lot of them on eBay right now, and the lowest priced one that I saw on eBay when I listed this was $70. So I decided to list it a little bit higher, since the ones that were listed for $70, they had 4 of them in the picture, and their pictures weren't very good. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take really good pictures of mine. I'm going to list it at $89.99. But it had been listed for a couple weeks, and I had an offer last night of $70. So I took it. So these are modern, and I'm going to see if I can find a date here. So they were made in 2022. So it's a modern Jurassic Park figure, but really good sell-through rate, and they sell for a lot. So keep your eye out for these when you're out thrifting. And the buyer paid $86.35 shipped for that item. And the last item that we sold in the last 24 hours was another set of taillights for a boat. They're LED. And we got these from the same nonprofit sale as the doorknobs, but we got these like a couple days before we got the doorknobs. We got the doorknobs after their sale. We got these at the very tail end of their sale. I waited until the sale was pretty much over to see what I could go in to the sale and try to make a deal on. And they had like, I don't know, 18 cases of these. And we were able to come to an agreement on what to pay. They were really excited making a bulk sale like that. So we got a bunch of these to sell, guys. We've sold a couple cases to a local boat shop, but we still have like 8 cases of these to go. So, but this sold for $28.49 plus shipping. The buyer paid $47.03 shipped for this. And these sell for like $60, $65 in store. So I listed them low enough that once shipping's added on, the buyer's getting a good deal. Because honestly, I could run 10, 15 minutes from here and buy a set of these for $60 in store and have them today. So You've got to give people a little bit of a deal for them to be willing to wait for it to come in the mail and that sort of thing. So any Ace Hardware or True Value sells these, and they're in almost every community across America. So that's the 4 items that we sold in the last 24 hours. So now let's go ahead and go back and we'll go through what we've sold in the last week and a half. Nothing crazy, a lot of low dollar stuff, but let's go ahead and check it out. All right, guys, so the first thing that we sold over the last week and a half is this G.I. Joe, and it's the 25th anniversary action figure. It's from 2007, and it actually wasn't that bad of a sale. We have $2.50 into this item, and it sold for $25.19 on an offer, and so the buyer paid $34.36 shipped for the item. The next item we sold is this twin pack. It's a versus pack, Mikey versus Leatherhead battle pack, and it's pretty new. I want to say it's like 2 years old, year and a half old, something like that. So they were clearanced out, and we got this in a lot of toys we bought. And so we're $2.50 into this item, and it sold for $15.29 plus shipping. So a total of $25.58 out the door. The next item is a Dutch Brothers sticker. It's a cold brew sticker from 2022, and it sold for $3 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $3.87 shipped. The next item we have is the Star Wars figure. It is Ezra from Star Wars Rebels, Clone Wars. And it's from 2014. He has his lightsaber. And honestly, I was surprised that this didn't sell last year. It's been listed for over a year. So I put it 30% off and it sold. But it sold for $6.29 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $14.66. With the new Star Wars show that this character is in, I can't even remember the name of it, but it's on Disney Plus. It came out like a year ago or 2 years ago. So I picked this up thinking, oh, this is going to sell really good. And then it just didn't. It just sat in the store. So I don't know. Still sold. I think we have like, I don't know, $1 into it. So decent flip. And then the next item we sold was this digital camera. It is a Canon PowerShot, has 10 times optical zoom, image stabilizer. It's a really good camera, but it doesn't sell for a ton. But it did sell for $53.19 plus shipping. The buyer paid a total of $69.35 shipped. We also put that one on 30% off. It has just been listed since last summer. The person who got it, though, was super thankful for it. Thankful to get it, and left us a really long review saying how happy she was about it. It was our first digital camera, so that was really cool. They got a good deal, and we got a good sale. I want to say we're like $5 into that camera, so pretty good flip. The next item is this Trick or Treat lunch pail, our lunchbox. It's from Spirit Halloween. It's a modern lunchbox, but it did sell for $20 plus shipping, so $31.22. Halloween stuff, horror stuff, usually has a really good following. So anytime you see this kind of stuff for cheap, pick it up. It sells pretty good, even though it's not even Halloween or close to Halloween. So the next item we sold was this Bucky O'Hare action figure from 1990. It's Willie. He's in really good shape. He's complete. He has his gun. He has his glasses. Almost, I would say 90% of the time, 95% of the time, he's missing his glasses. So the fact that he has his glasses, we were able to ask a little bit more. I want to say we had this listed for $29.99. It had been listed for a few months. We got an offer of $24.40. I don't know why the 40, but $24.40, and we accepted it. And the buyer paid a total of $32.49 shipped for that vintage action figure. I love selling that stuff. The next item we sold was this Yeti Dutch Brothers sticker. It's from 2022. It's a Christmas sticker. And it sold for $2.65 plus shipping. $3.52 out the door. Next item we sold is this 2003 WWE wrestling figure, and it was made by Jax, and it sold for $9.09. It must have been like 10 or 15% off, and the buyer paid a total of $16.19 shipped for that item. Next item we sold is this Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl champions plastic license plate, and it's brand new, still have the tags on the back of it, and it sold for $6.64 plus shipping. So the buyer paid $14.05 out the door for that item. The next item we sold was this cassette tape, and it's new, sealed. It's kind of one of the I probably wouldn't say rare, but it is probably a little on the rare side, more desirable tape. It's a small one, so it's probably for like a answering machine or something like that. But it's the DM90. It's new, sealed, and this single tape sold for $15 plus shipping, and the buyer paid a total of $23.22. It's a really good idea to keep your eye out for these at yard sales, because I would say about every three or four yard sales I go to, I find one or two of these sitting around. If you pick them up, especially if they're the lower end ones, like sometimes you can pick them up sealed for like 25 cents, 50 cents at a yard sale, and they only sell for a couple bucks. But if you save them over time and you get a lot of 6 of them or 8 of them and bundle them up and then list them for, $15 plus shipping, you do pretty good. So the next item we sold right here, it is more of those Yeti stickers from Dutch Brothers. This person actually bought 6 of them. They actually bought the rest of what we had. They bought all 6, and they paid $16.74 for them. And they paid a total of $20.79 shipped. And the next item we sold is this 1992 Sesame Street Elmo plush. It's kind of on the rarer side. When I was researching it, there's not a whole lot of them out there listed, but I would imagine that probably changed because it took forever for it to sell. But I didn't check the market after that. It did sell for $8.64 plus shipping. I believe this item was 30% off. And so the buyer paid a total of $19.85 out the door. So the next order we had was actually 3 items. I'll go ahead and put them up. And it's 3 Dutch Brothers stickers. A 2022 winter windmill, and a 2022 cold brew, and then a March 2023 mushroom windmill. Now, all 3 of these sold for $9.77 plus shipping. The buyer paid a total of $12.58 shipped for those. And then we sold 2 of these Dutch Brothers stickers. They're like a postcard style sticker, and so there's 2 separate orders, so 2 separate people, and they each sold for $3.49 a piece, and the buyer paid about $4.50 shipped for them. And the next item is some lawn chair webbing material. This is for those old school 70s, 80s lawn chairs. And so these were sealed packages of the exact same webbing. And so 2 of them sold for $13.49 plus shipping, $21.82 shipped out the door for those. Those we got with a couple chairs that we bought that needed repairs. What I ended up doing was I sold the chairs separately from the webbing. So I still have some webbing left to list. And we sold the chairs for probably about twice as what we paid for everything. And then I kept the webbing to sell on eBay. So I have 0 cost in the webbing. So that was a really good flip. The last item that we sold was this vintage VHS. It is a Japanese animated cartoon movie, and it sold for $16.24 plus shipping. So a total of $22.90 out the door. Anytime you're at yard sales or estate sales and you see vintage VHS anime like this, pick it up. Typically, they'll sell anywhere from like $5 up to $50. There's some of them that are super rare. Pioneer, I believe, in the 90s, they came out with certain VHS players that had like a special edition animated Japanese cartoons or movies in the box with their VHS players. Those are super rare. So keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. They sell really well. And guys, that is the last item we've sold over the last week and a half or so. So that's it for today. It's a Friday. I should be out sourcing, going to some yard sales. But guys, I just have way too much inventory. I've got so much stuff I could be listing. And I need to be here. I need to be here working on listing stuff in my store. I've got like probably 40 totes of action figures that I could list. I got tons and tons of inventory. So there's going to be less and less videos of me going out into yard sales this summer. I'm only going to go to ones that are super worth it and that looks like they have really good stuff. So, or if I get low on certain things and I want to go source certain items, I'll go out and do that too. So, guys, thanks for watching. And hopefully soon in the coming future, we'll be doing more videos. Our sales will be up and I'll be better disciplined in my listing. And yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next one.
Just a few dollars.